Welcome back to the Grapple Theory podcast. You're joining me today with a very special guest, someone we've wanted to have on the show for a long time. We finally made it happen. Please welcome to the show, Kanji. Kanji, great to have you here. How are you doing?
I'm great, thank you. It's great to finally be on here.
Yeah, it's great to finally have you here. It's been a while in the making. I feel like I've pestered you a lot, and like it's great to finally have you here.
And then we keep saying, yeah, definitely we'll set a date, and then it comes to that week when we said it's going to be this week, and it just never happened.
No,
sorry.
It's all right. It's fine. I understand. You guys are busy enough. I totally get it. I totally respect it. Like, I don't even I'm honoured that you have like time for me in your schedule, because like most wrestlers, I always say like, I just don't know how you guys do it. Like, I get tired just hearing about your schedules. I just don't, like, in my mind, I'm just like, how? I like come home from work and I want to sleep. How do you guys do anything extra?
Yeah, just keep going. The key is don't sit down, because once you sit down, that's it, you can't get up.
That's the killer, isn't it? It's like, yeah once your legs have had that rest, they never want to get back up again.
That's it. That's the one.
Any wannabe wrestlers out there, just key from now on, never sit down. Never sit. Sleep standing, all...
There you go.
Well, it's great to finally have you here, and I feel like it's a really good time, because it feels like now's the moment where you've got some really interesting stuff going on, like in the ring. We're going to get into all of it very soon, like sort of bit by bit. But first of all, I would say like it seems like it's been quite a fun start to 2024 for you, like in the ring, and especially what you've been able to do character-wise at not just like one promotion but various promotions. Would that be fair to say?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, definitely.
Where is that sort of like shift come from then? Because again, like, you know, obviously I don't put like people in boxes of like comedy wrestler or things like that, but you've done a lot more like sort of comedy characters and like sort of more fun characters than the sort of like serious Kanji we've been used to seeing in the past. So has that been like a sort of like a mental shift that's brought that on, or?
I think I've always had it in me, because I've always been really into the arts, and because I did a degree in drama, so I've always been interested in the different types and genres of play. But I think with wrestling, there's been opportunities that have come up, but I don't think I've really delved into those possible opportunities. And I think I've had a few injuries, especially the other year, and I think I was in storylines which was very demanding of a serious character for a serious situation my character was in, and I had a little bit, it's mainly with Progress, I had a little bit of a break there because I was dealing with a little injury, and then I think that I felt like I was almost like stuck for, I think that the audience, I was struggling to connect with the audience, and I don't know what it was, and I was constantly asking other people around, like, what do I need to do? And they were giving me techniques and strategies on how to switch up my character and things like that. But I think it was more of a personal thing rather than a character thing, because I struggled to go out on like merch tables. So I don't know what it is. I just have this, I think it's just a bit of a self-esteem thing. I really struggle to, after shows and that, to go on a merch and meet everybody. So I think I lose a big connection with the audience there, because I don't have that that one-to-one time with them. So I think whatever they see in the ring is exactly what they're perceiving, which that's not the case. It's just a character. So the fact that I've been able to have fun with different characters and dress up a little bit and be something different and have fun with it, I think people are starting to realise that I'm not this hard-faced, serious wrestler. I'm actually a person behind that as well.
Yeah, for sure. I think that is tough, isn't it? Like, especially like, I don't know, because like personality-wise as well, I'm quite like introverted as well. And so like we're chatting here and I'm perfectly chill with that, but like I'll go to shows obviously, and then I'll be like, I don't know if I want to go up to merch and like speak to people. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even though like in the mind you want to, but I'm like, can I do it?
Exactly.
Yeah. So I get that. Like it's that sort of like, I don't want to call it intrusive thoughts, but it's like that mental block, isn't it? Where you're like, you need to push yourself that little.
Yeah, you have that like ongoing argument with yourself in your head, which one side is saying, go and do it, it'll be really good for you, but then the other side saying, no, you don't need that. you don't want to put yourself through that situation.
Yeah, I mean, well, we'll make a deal now. If you do it more, then I'll do it more as well, and we'll chat at merch, and that'll be chill. We'll keep it chill. Yeah, at the next Eve show, we'll do that.
We'll do that.
I was going to say, like, you mentioned the injuries there, and that's something that's really interesting I want to get onto, because like it seems like this run you've been having since sort of like summer of last year has been like your most consistent run in the ring, especially since wrestling returned after lockdown, because you have struggled a bit with injuries. Yeah, that must be really nice to have had that sort of like quite steady flow of in-ring action and been able to keep going with it after the last couple of years you've had.
Yeah, definitely. I think because it is like a thing where I'll be wrestling for about 6 to 8 months, and then I'll have it'll get stopped because of an injury. And it's not even like the injuries are just little things. They're like serious injuries that really put me out. So it's really frustrating because it just feels like I've not been able to get that momentum going. I feel like I'm getting somewhere and then it will just come to a stop. But this time round, it's going okay. Fingers crossed. And every time match, I'm always like, I can't get injured. I just can't get injured at all. Like, it can't happen. But I've made a conscious effort to just pray. I feel like the energy of prayer is really good. It's really positive. And I know obviously like a lot of people don't have or don't follow a religion, and that's obviously I think prayer and religion is a very personal and independent thing to have, but for me I really depend on it, I think.
Yeah, no, I mean, if that works for you, then that's great. Like you say, like, I think religion, especially like now at the minute, is like a very divisive issue, but like I think like you're clearly a good person, you know what I mean? Not like, you know, people like who take religion like a little too far, and we won't mention them. But like you know, that's the thing. If it works for you, and that's what helps you get through. Like people, like everyone has their coping mechanisms, right, of how they deal with things. And if that's what works for you, then that's great, and that's super important. It's good that you know that.
Yeah, that's it. But I think I find it makes me very peaceful and content. I think, content is a good word for it, I think.
Yeah, I love that. I was going to say, like, mentality-wise, going back to like what you said about like when you're in the ring and you're like, I can't get injured. Do you feel like, not necessarily that it holds you back, but are you conscious of that while you're wrestling, like while you're like in the ring, like in a match?
Not while I'm wrestling, no. Beforehand, it's always in the back of my head. Just because I feel like I wouldn't say it sets me back, but it's just the fact that I have to stop doing something that I really love, and the fact that injuries they hurt. So like when it came to when I broke my arm for the first time, I was so scared because it hurt so much for so long. I just really didn't want to go through that pain again. And then obviously when I broke it again, it was the same thing again. It's just the worst thing ever. The pain is just not okay. But then once I'm back and I'm working again, I've never felt like, oh, I've missed out on so much. I could have been there at this point if I didn't get injured. Because I just feel like that's a negative way to look at things. I'm just trying to think there was a reason behind whatever happened. Whatever that reason is, it's not my fault. It's not on me. It was just supposed to happen. Yeah. And I try to think what positive things I've got out of being injured. And so when I'm actually wrestling, I don't think about it because I'm kind of like in a wrestling zone. Yeah, I'm no longer me. I'm my character. I am Kanji. But just beforehand, obviously I do take the time to just say thank you for every opportunity I've been given and just to keep us all safe.
No, I love that. And that's great as well. It's great to have that like positive attitude as well, because again, like we've had other wrestlers come on and talk about injuries and be like, you know, like, yes, it sucked because I wasn't able to wrestle, but like this came out of it and this came out of it. Like you're able to maybe take that break mentally from wrestling, or like obviously the physical break as well, but like, or like spend more time with family or do other things where like you wouldn't have done that if you'd been wrestling every weekend.
Definitely, that's it. Yeah, and I think when I was recovering, I think it's natural. And I said this to a few other wrestlers that are out right now injured. It's so natural to get into your head and have negative feelings of like jealousy and those feelings that I should be there and this is what should be happening. It's just natural. That's just how the brain works. But I think once, especially on the second time I got hurt, as soon as those feelings started coming, I recognized them straight away and stopped myself from thinking like that and kind of just told myself to appreciate what I'm able to see and what I'm able to experience and witness, which was my friends doing so well. Like, these are the women and the guys that I love and are doing something that I love to do and what they love to do. And so it's kind of like putting that positive spin on it, just be happy for them because they're doing what I want to do. And it's great for them.
Yeah, I love that. I love those positive vibes. That's brilliant. It's like super uplifting. I love to hear that. That's incredible. That's incredible. I mean, like, when you had, like, especially, like, the arm break and stuff, like, when it happened to something like that, is there ever a moment in your mind where you're like, maybe this is, like, it? Maybe I'm done because of this? Like, in terms of just, like, the reoccurrence of it?
No, and I think it's because there was nobody around me that ever said, I think well, actually, there was people around me that said it, but the only people that said it were the doctors. The doctors and the people I came across in the hospital were the ones that said, maybe you should find something else to do. But because I didn't have a personal connection to those, it just flew right over my head. But everyone in my close circle, no one ever said, I think it's time. Everyone straight away, as soon as they heard that I was hurt, there's just, all they said was, you'll be fine, you'll be back in the ring in no time. And I think when you're surrounded by that sort of support, you don't think of anything outside of what they're telling you. You know what I mean? Those thoughts of maybe this isn't for you, it's not even in your brain.
Yeah.
I think I'm just so grateful that I've got that support and the people that know how much this all means to us.
Yeah, no, I love that. And big up those people as well in your life who are giving you that positive energy, because that's incredible. Yeah. That's brilliant. And look where it's got you now, because now, I mean, we're going to get onto in-the-ring action. Like, all that support has led you to this moment where you've just started a tag team in Pro Wrestling Eve with Emersyn Jayne, with a tag name that, I'm going to be honest, is out there even for Dan Reed and, like, Eve, right? It's like, I'm surprised he allowed it, if I'm honest.
We are.
Yes.
We are.
So, for anyone watching who doesn't know, Kanji and Emersyn Jayne, now apparently the tag team with the top Shagger and her Donny. Very interesting, very bizarre. I messaged you as well after that Eve show where you debuted that tag name, because I know you explained it to me, I'm still a little confused about what a Donny is. Like, I still don't get it. So, like, I mean, if you're willing to explain it for our viewers, that'd be wonderful.
Yeah, so a Don is, when you look at it if you search it on the Urban Dictionary, because it's almost like a slang term.
Yeah, the Urban Dictionary is the hub of all necessary information.
Of course. The Urban Dictionary, it says it's like an absolute legend. So whenever I use the term Don, I always say Don. It's when I'm referring to someone who's done something proper sick. Right. So I used to always message Emersyn when she's done something so cool in the ring. I'd message her and say, you're such a Don. And this is how it just came around. Every time I just message her, you're such a Don. You're a proper Don. So that was just a word that flew around the thing. And then when we came up with the name, we thought we're going to have to explain properly what a Don is. So that's when I thought I would Google it. I would see it on Urban Dictionary. And there's actually two meanings for a Don or a Donny. And one is an absolute legend. And then the other one, which I find so funny because it goes hand in hand with the top Shagger, is they're an animal in all... they're like an animal in all walks of life. including battles and sex and something like that. And I was like, this is fantastic. Like, this is perfect.
I mean,
So, yeah.
given that, this is a question that out of context is going to sound extremely inappropriate for me to ask. But if that's what you're messaging Emersyn, does that mean you're the top shagger?
Who knows?
Oh, okay, it's unconfirmed. I see. It's up for like, yeah, you're not letting people know. That's the mystery behind it.
Yeah, it's up to everybody else. But it's actually so surprising how many people have said, who's the top shagger then? And we just said, it's up to you. Whatever you think.
Whoever you think it is. That's a weird thing to be saying, isn't it? Like, whoever you think is the top shagger. It's yeah, that's who it is.
There you go.
I mean...
And who is the Donny?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to weigh in if I'm honest, personally. I think that's a bit... I'm not sure I'm brave enough to weigh in at the minute. But I wouldn't, like... Because so I wasn't able to make the last Eve show, so I watched it online. And I got to say, I don't know if you've seen it back or anything, but, like, Dan Reed was just as surprised as anyone else, despite the fact that he's booking you, that you and Emersyn were a tag team, like, suddenly. So, like, name aside, how did this come about? Like, because obviously, like, I know, like, through the years you guys have been close, but, like, what made you finally pull the trigger on this and be like, you know, we should tag together?
I think because we talk a lot and we share each other's, like, little clips of wrestling spots or wrestling matches that we both enjoy. And we've kind of come to the conclusion that we both love the same type of wrestling. And so that when we wrestled each other, we really enjoyed it and we thought that we had great chemistry. And then when we've done little bits together, we've just thought, this works, like, this is great. And then because we have so much fun talking about wrestling and wrestling each other, we just thought this is like a great opportunity for us to come together and be one, so be a tag. And so we'll talk about it, try to put things together. And then we spoke to Dan about it and asked Dan if he would give us a chance and let us do it. And he wasn't too keen on the idea. But I think that's because he's got separate plans for both of us, as it was. So we kind of got that, but we still kept pushing it, kept saying, yeah, well, we really want to be. And he kept asking us questions. Why, though? Like, I don't get it. Tell me why. And what do you two bring that's different to other tag teams? Or what do you two bring when you come together that's different to you being individuals? So I was trying to explain to him in wrestling terms, but it's just, I don't think it was working, to be fair. And then obviously we had a little go at teaming together at OTT, which was really fun. And then we got to team together at Attack on the Mistletoe, which was really fun. And so that gave us like the oomph to like, let's really go for this because this was fun. And then Dan just messaged us saying, go on then, watch tag team names, give us some ideas. And so we're messaging each other like vigorously, like, oh my God, we need to put some tag team names together. And we came up with all these different names. And then Top Shagger and Donny came in as a joke. Like, we thought it was hilarious. But we didn't send it to Dan yet.
Whose was that? Go on, like, before you continue. Who came up with it?
Well, I feel like it's going to give it away a little bit.
Oh, I see. Oh, if it ruins the mystery, then feel free to keep it to yourself. But
yeah, like Top Shagger was a name that was around us anyway.
Right.
So that was already a name given to one of us.
By like the locker room or something?
Yeah.
Okay, so the locker room know who the Top Shagger is.
Some of them do, not all of them do. Because it was just an ongoing joke. It's just an ongoing joke. And it's just so funny. So that was already a thing. And then we just put Top Shagger and Donny together. And we just really laughed about it. We thought it was hilarious. And so we had all these separate names. And then we said to each other, shall we send Dan all these names? And then we put Top Shagger and Donny at the very bottom just for a joke, just for a laugh. And so we sent it to Dan, and all he replied back, he didn't acknowledge anything. All he replied was the bottom one. That was it. He's like, it's hilarious.
Amazing. Oh, I thought that's the bit you'd have to fight Dan on. Be like, nah, this worked. But he was just like, nah, that's it. That's the one.
Yeah, that was the one. No emojis, no punctuation, just the bottom one. I was like, this is amazing.
And then seeing it on the graphic, I was like, oh my God, like, what is happening?
I couldn't believe the graphic I was showing everybody.
It is incredible. It is unbelievable. I mean, like, Dan, absolutely. I mean, he's already a legend, but absolute legend for that. That's like...
I know.
Just to be like, yep, that's the one. Nothing else.
That's the winner.
Oh, yeah, that is... I'm not even sure how else to react. It's just brilliant. It's just fantastic. I mean, so again, in terms of the inside joke in the locker room, does Dan know who the top Shagger is?
I don't actually know. I don't think he does.
Oh, we're going to have to ask him. We're going to have to see if he can piece it together.
I know. Because everybody when we came into the venue, people straight away came up to, who's the top Shagger then? And we already had this conversation to say, let's not tell anybody.
Yeah.
Let them decide. So it's really interesting, but the amount of times I've heard people like around just say quietly under their breath, what is a Donny?
Yeah.
What's a Donny? And I just find it so funny.
It is brilliant. It's like, again, it's a very like, I feel like it might be a little telling of age. Do you know what I mean? In terms of like who's bothered to look at the Urban Dictionary. And who, like, again, maybe it's like should have looked at the Urban Dictionary as soon as like you see it teamed with someone called the top Shagger. You got to be like, okay, there's something weird here. Urban Dictionary will have the answers. Yeah. But yeah, it just never occurred to me to look at the Urban Dictionary.
Well, at the first time when we got to the show, Amira was there, and she came straight up to us and said, I think she said it's a Scottish term. She said a Donny in their slang is a condom. I was like, no!
That's even better!
I know, I was like, whoa, what a connection by accident.
Oh my God, there's so many meanings, there's so many variables at play. It's brilliant. There's so much you can work on with it.
And they all fit in the one category. It's hilarious.
It's a very NSFW category that I can't believe Dan went with, but... I mean, to be fair, we are in the, we're also in the sexy Smithson era as well, aren't we? So, like, I mean, like, yeah, clearly Dan's just taking it up a level in terms of, like, the 18-plus ranking.
Yeah, he absolutely loves it.
Of course he does. Legend. Oh, it's amazing. It's brilliant. I mean, like, I know you've only had, like, one match together, like, with the name in Eve. Obviously, you've tagged together before, but, like, with the name and everything. But, like, in terms of, like, when Dan maybe asks you, like, what do you offer that other teams, like, don't and stuff like that, I feel like it's a thing where, like, especially this year, you've been, like, very, like, fun in your character at Eve. But Emersyn, I feel like, has always had this really serious undercurrent to her. Like, she's been this, like, sort of heelish, very serious, like, kick your ass, give you, like, an absolute hell of a beating wrestler. And she still is, absolutely, no doubt, and you both are, like, together. But, like, I feel like it adds that just... like that fun element to the dynamic. Do you know what I mean? That fun that like maybe Emersyn hasn't had at Eve before, where she can just sort of like let loose a little bit.
Yeah, I think so, definitely. Because I do watch Emersyn. I think she's fantastic. Like, I absolutely love her inside and outside the ring. And I love watching her matches and the things that she's capable of doing. Which is why I think it's so amazing for me to be in the ring with her and tagging with her, because I learned so much from just being close to her. And so I find her hilarious. Like, outside of the ring, when she's in the ring, you don't understand how funny she actually is. Like, she's just having a normal conversation with me and I'm just laughing because I just find it so funny. And she's not even saying anything funny, but I just laugh. So for her to be able to come out to the ring and show that, you know, there's more to her than just this serious wrestler that wants to beat the hell out of people and enjoys being beaten the hell out of as well, clearly. I just think it adds so much more of a dynamic to us as wrestlers. I think it shows everyone how versatile we actually are, and that we can have fun. You know, we're not just put into that one box of this is who you are. When in the promo picture you see is with a serious face and that's what you get. It's not. We're so much more than that. And I'm so glad. I think that's why when I was in the ring and was having the match, I was just laughing the whole entire time because she was having so much fun and showing, obviously, the tough side that Emersyn Jayne is, but also the top shagger, the top shagger and a Donny that we've brought together. And I just thought it was hilarious to see her smile and laugh in the ring as well. It just made my heart so happy.
Yeah, really, I love that. Is. I love that. It is brilliant. It is fantastic. And again, like, I mean, who knows where this tag team is going to go from here? But I was going to say, like, you mentioned the getting the hell beat out of. This means that we've got to take the top shagger and Donny to the next TNT Extreme DOA tournament, right? You're going to have to enter it as well, being it together.
I'd love it. I'd love it. Let's do it.
You see Jay Apter book the top shagger and Donny. It would be... I don't know if he'd go for that, but Jay, if you're watching, get it done.
Yeah, because no one, I don't think anyone can expect what they're going to get when you see that name. And I don't think Dan really knew what to expect when he chose that name.
You could hear it on his commentary. He was like, I don't know, like, I feel like it wasn't an act now, but like on his commentary, he just sounded confused as hell. He was like... He was like, what is happening?
Yeah. He had no idea. Because obviously we didn't until he said the bottom one. We was like, okay, let's go in. And we never spoke to him about anything. We didn't speak about our characters, our gimmicks, our little ideas to play against our names. He had no idea. So everything he saw in the ring was brand new. Do
you reckon, like, I like the idea that maybe he thought you were joking and, like, called your bluff on it? Well, he was like, I'm going to suggest this one because they're never going to go for it. They'll never actually do it. And then you did it.
Probably, because even after the match, I think Emersyn said to me, I wonder how Dan feels about it. I hope he's not mad.
Nah, I'm sure he loved it. You've got to get some promo photos done together, though. Like, again, just the really fun ones. Like, I'm not sure how you encapsulate those two characters in a promo photo, but...
We've got ideas that will...
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, I look forward to seeing.
Yes.
Well, that's brilliant. I love that. And, like, again, like, it seems like, especially at Eve, like, you've been tagging a lot recently, because obviously before Emersyn, you were partnering with Elliot James, who as well, fantastic. And again, it seemed like you just had, like, you both, like, had a lot of fun in that partnership.
Yeah, I did. I don't do tag matches often. Well, I haven't done tag matches often. I'm normally booked as a singles wrestler and always have been, really. So to be able to get in there with other great wrestlers that know wrestling and enjoy just wrestling, it's helped me so much. And I feel like I'm able to relax a little bit more in a tag match because I know I'm fully supported with another wrestler I'm with. And I know even when you're in a singles match, you're fully supported by your opponent as well. But I think when you're in there with more than one person, it's such a different feeling because there's more of you there as a whole. So you're kind of, it's like there's more people to put on this big show that are responsible for this big show, and you're all working together. So you kind of just have more fun. So ever since I've been having a few tag matches, it's built my confidence up in tag wrestling. It's made me go out there and appreciate tag wrestling even more, and just enjoy it and relax more when I'm in there. But because I'm trained by Stixx, who is, I think he's definitely known for his multi-man matches. So when I go around and tell everybody I have no idea about tag wrestling, they're like, wait, how do you not know about tag wrestling when your trainer is Stixx? And it's actually embarrassing. I know it's embarrassing.
You're like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, because I've never really been I've never really been pushed to do the tag wrestling things. I've always focused on the singles wrestling. I mean, I watch the tag wrestling, I really do, but I don't think I've really appreciated how different and fun tag wrestling is compared to the differences of a singles wrestling match, like the stories and the different ways you can play around with the structure and everything. So I definitely, you're learning all the time, aren't you?
I was going to say exactly that. Like, I imagine it takes some getting used to, especially like you have the one-off tag match here and there, but when you're doing it more consistently, I imagine it takes like a little bit of a mental shift of like, okay, I need to figure out how to actually work this as a tag match as you're meant to.
Yeah, exactly. Because I hear Stixx talk about it a lot, about him saying when you look at a whole show, you'll have like maybe 4 singles matches, and then you'll have like 2 tag matches. And he says nobody wants to see a whole show which is single matches. There's a reason the tag matches are put in there. So when you've got a tag match, work to the stipulation, which is the tag rules, splitting the ring in half and playing up to the fact that you've got a tag team partner that you can do tag moves with. And it's all those little things that you can think about and get really creative with. And although like I knew about that because he spoke about it, but because I've never really had much of an opportunity to work on it and really dig my nails into playing around with things like that, I just don't think it's been something that I've really delved into until now.
Yeah.
And now appreciate it so much. I think it's great.
No, I love that. That's brilliant. That's absolutely fantastic. I love that. And like, again, we won't make this could be a whole chat about like Eve and your time at Eve, but like it won't be. We'll move on to some other stuff as well. The final thing I've got to ask you, because I can't have you here and not ask about, well, the fact that you might be in this great tag team now with Emersyn. You were in a great tag team before with Ali and James, but in 2024 especially, is anything going to top the Multiverse Rumble?
Oh. Oh my God.
It was, if I'm honest, one of the greatest acting performances I've ever seen. I mean, like,
just in Hampton or in the entire...
Oh no, in general. I mean, I'm talking Oscar work. The fact you weren't invited to the Oscars and nominated was a shock to me. Like,
I had my dress ready, you know.
How was that? Because like again, like the acting you put on was brilliant, and like the way you guys went about it was fantastic. I mean, like, talk to me about that whole experience. Like, where did the idea come from first? Like, when did you decide, like, you know what, I'm going to be Jim Carrey?
Well, the film has always been like a film that I've absolutely loved, and it's like you put it on and you know near enough the whole script. And I know that everyone else thinks the same. Everyone else has watched the film. I think it's fantastic. I know those taglines. And it was my brother that went as the Mask a few Halloweens ago. So we had the costume at home. And so it just clicked to me. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can actually be Jim Carrey's The Mask. And then once it came to me, I was thinking about all these ideas I can do in the ring. But before, I was thinking of being Beyonce from she does a song called Hold Up, where she's the big yellow dress and she's got a baseball bat. And I thought, that's great. I can curl my hair, make it really big, wear the big yellow dress and have a bat. And then it kept coming around and I was like, yeah, but how does Beyonce get eliminated in a Rumble?
Yeah.
How? Like, Beyonce would not lose a Rumble.
No, you can't eliminate the Queen Bee.
Exactly. So I was like, it's just not going to work. So then I was thinking about a character that can get eliminated. So that when it came to the Mask, I was thinking like, how can he get eliminated? How can this work? And then it just clicked to me when I was thinking about character things in the ring with the Oscar thing, when he gets the award after the acting. I was like, I'll just eliminate myself. And so it just... when you think about the film and all these little things and what I can do, because I felt like I didn't really want to wrestle because I think it would take away from the character, because obviously the Mask isn't a wrestler. It's just a character. So I kind of took the little bits that he does and made it like a wrestling character.
You had it down. I'll tell you what, like the movements, the way you walked, like everything was so Carrey. It was like so spot on.
You just watch it so many times and you're able to just visualize it and become it.
I think this has got to be the thing now. I know you mentioned Beyonce. Obviously, hopefully that's been the last 2 years. Hopefully, the Multiverse Rumble continues to be a yearly thing. But I'm just saying, you got in the chamber the ideas of like you could just do Jim Carrey characters like every year. Like next year, Ace Ventura. Like
I could. That would be great.
Yeah.
Be great. I'll just be Jim Carrey's career.
Yeah, I guess the story of Jim Carrey. And when Jim Carrey sees it, I'm sure he'll be honoured that his career played out on a yearly basis in a Rumble match.
I think that would be fantastic. That would be great.
This is it now. We've got it now. It's got to be done. It's got to be done.
That'll be it.
Yeah. Was it as much fun? Was it as much or more fun as, again, I can't believe how much you've done this year. That's just bonkers. But, like, does it beat dressing up as Lara Croft at Attack?
That was really fun. It was really fun. And but I think with that one, I took a different spin on it because I actually wrestled as Lara Croft. Whereas in the Rumble, I just wanted to be the character, and that was it. So I had so much fun with just being a character. Whereas Lara Croft, it was so hard because I was trying to find the balance of character as well as wrestling. So I was a bit wary of whether I'm doing too much wrestling and not enough character work, or where is the balance here. But I think everyone was happy. I was happy anyway.
Yeah.
And I think Jones is fantastic, so I absolutely love wrestling him. I just really hope next time we can do it when we're actually Kanji and Danny Jones.
Put the characters aside for a match. Actually have like go full out. We'd love to see that.
Yeah,
that would be brilliant.
I think great.
That would be a great match as well. Like again, like back to the Multiverse Rumble. Like the way you did it, just eliminating stuff. Like I loved it. Like getting shot, like the emotional death scene, and then like taking your bow, and like you say you say drama. Like that's the drama coming out, right? Like that is that perfectly. Like it must have been nice to sort of like flex that muscle again.
Yeah, definitely. And I think especially with Eve, I think a lot of people try and expect the unexpected. That a lot of things will happen at Eve that you have no idea or didn't know could exist in a wrestling atmosphere. So I was kind of trying to think outside of the box, as hard as it is when you're in a multiverse rumble anyway, because everything is outside of the box. So I think it's just thinking of different ways that you can get away with at Eve, which I think is something you don't see that often, just throwing yourself out of the rumble, but having a reason to, other than, I'm just going to get out the ring because I'm scared and I want to be a heel. I think it's just finding creative ways on how to do things that are different.
Yeah.
It's interesting, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. I feel like, again, like we've had like so many wrestlers who are regulars at Eve come on and say like the same thing, but like it feels like Dan is the sort of guy who like really pushes you to flex that creative muscle, who pushes you to be something different, be something I've never seen before, like, but also have fun with it and like embrace that side of it, even if it's just like absolutely bonkers.
Definitely, yeah, definitely. I think Dan likes the fact that we can come to Eve and be something completely different than what we are like at every other show or promotion around the rest of the country. I think he likes that we can see Eve and people can come to Eve and expect us to be someone different.
Yeah.
I think that's what keeps the magic of Eve alive, really.
Yeah, for sure. And there's a lot of great, again, like you said before, there's a lot of great tag teams at Eve at the minute. So, again, sounds bizarre saying this, but why are the top Shagger and Donny gonna dominate the competition, for want of a better phrase?
Yeah, I know, and because there are great tag teams in Eve, and I think Danny's always trying to push the different types of the different matches that wrestling can put on. So you've got disqualification matches, your tag matches, your multi-women matches. So I think it's great that we get a platform to create new characters and create new relationships in wrestling. I think it just helps us and helps other people to support what we're able and capable of doing.
Yeah, absolutely. And Strong and Sexy have the tag belts now. Nightshade and Sky Smithson You got to have your eyes on those, surely.
Oh, definitely. I mean, our team and their team just work hand in hand, right?
I mean, it goes together very well, doesn't it?
I think
like,
so.
What is Sky's like? What, like wrestling's best sex pest or something like that, wasn't it? Yeah. So you got the sex pest, you got the top Shagger, you got the Donny, and then Nightshade, who's just like the muscle that's going to just as well.
That's it. Yeah, we all love a bit of muscle.
Yeah.
So.
Love it. Amazing. Well, we won't, like I said, we won't just talk about Eve, but that leads us on nicely to our first feature here on the podcast called Dishing the Dirt. And this is where I'm going to get you to dish some dirt on your locker room mate. It doesn't have to just be Eve, just wherever you wrestle. I'm going to give you some like scenarios, and I want you to let me know like which wrestler it best applies to.
Okay.
So the first one is who's always running late?
Rio.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's crazy because she always comes in so late, but she's just so chill. Like, she comes in so late and you're like, oh, you're on in half an hour. Okay, thanks.
Cheers.
And slowly just gets ready while her opponent's there, like, stressing out. We're going out in 15 minutes. And she's like, yeah, that's cool.
That's the fear that Rio puts in you. She's just too chill about everything.
Everything. It's amazing.
It's all a mind game. It's all like, I'm just going to really psych everyone out, pretend I'm super chill.
Yeah, she just shows up. It's like, cool.
Legend. Wow. Rio, cool as anything. I love that.
Yeah.
I mean, she is cool, isn't she? I mean, like, it's Rio, of course. Cool. Like, why would it be anything else other than just calmness personified?
Exactly.
Before she beats the living hell out of you.
Yeah.
Brilliant. The next one is who has the worst music taste?
I don't think we talk about our music taste much, but I'm not really into rock or like the death metal or the death metal music, and a lot of wrestlers listen to it. I
was going to say you're breaking my heart because that is again just that's me there.
I understand like. There's a massive audience for like death metal and hardcore rock and everything, and I've listened to a lot, but to me, especially the death metal, it just sounds like noise, and it's quite offensive to the ears. I don't know if it's meant to be like that.
I think it's meant to be a little like that.
Yeah. And it's really hard to understand what they're saying. Yeah. But I appreciate that people listen to it and are able to understand what they're saying.
Those are the tough ears right there, the ones that can withstand that.
Yeah.
That's fair.
So I reckon a lot of people would say me.
What are we talking? What sort of music do you like?
I think it's because I listen to a variety of music, but I think because one of the people I listen to, there's a lot of controversy around his name. So I think a lot of people like, The
next one is, who's the comedian of the locker room? Who can you always count on to make you laugh the most?
Ooh, Derice.
Yeah?
Yeah, Derice.
He is on fire.
Yeah, Derice is on fire.
What does he do then? Where's the comedy? I mean, like, obviously in his act, like, again, he's brilliant, he's fantastic. Yeah. But, like, is he the same behind the curtain or is he different?
Yeah, it's wild because he's got this energy all the time and he's just non-stop. Like, I remember at Resurgence one time, he came in, he's like, oh, I've just got off the flight from wherever he was. He's been wrestling for like 4 days straight, flying from here, there. And he says, I've only had 2 hours sleep. But then he's running around playing like basketball and football in the gym where we're getting changed. And it's just like non-stop energy. And then he's constantly like making jokes about everybody, just having a complete laugh. And it's like, why are you not tired?
Legend. Derice, that's brilliant. Like a child almost, like just full of energy, just that absolute like adrenaline rush.
Yeah, all the time. It's non-stop. It's so funny.
Big up Derice. Yeah. It was great as well seeing Derice make his Eve debut this year. Like,
exactly. Yeah. Who would have thought that would happen?
Incredible moment, wasn't it? Unbelievable.
Yeah.
The next one is again. The next one's like either for their match or leaving after the show. Who takes the longest to get ready?
That's a tough one, actually. I I might say Spike Trevay.
Really?
Only because he will get changed, he'll get himself ready, but then he has a certain amount of time where he will keep to himself to get into character. So he'll have his earphones in. I don't know what he's listening to, if he's even listening to anything, but he's just getting himself into this character that he becomes. So during that time, you'll see him walking around and pacing, and he's just got this look on his face that you can't talk to him. So if you're in a match with him and you see him in this state, you don't want to talk to him, because like, this is Spike Trevay now. This isn't actually him as a person. This is Spike Trevay. I don't think anybody wants to speak to Spike Trevay.
No one does, do they? No. Although I'm intrigued now as to what's in the earbuds when he's getting into character. I want to know how you make Spike Trevay Spike. Like, what are you listening to unleash Spike Trevay? And
it's when you see it, it's incredible, because it's like, this is so good. Like, this is like, I know in theatre there's, I think it's called the Stanislavski theory, where it's a technique where actors, just before they go on to perform, they take a moment or moments to put themselves in a state of real emotion, so they can go on stage and have that real emotion on stage. It's not just pretend. So that's kind of what I think Spike is doing. He's putting himself in this real situation where he actually becomes Spike Trevay from inside. And it's incredible that he's able to do that. And it's like half an hour before, you see him as a normal person. He's all friendly and everything. And then half an hour later, you see him backstage still, and you dared speak to him. It's like he's got this complete different look on his face that is terrifying.
Amazing. Like proper method, proper like getting into it.
Method acting, that's the one, yeah.
I love it.
It's fantastic.
I'm sure you did similar, didn't you, when you dressed as the Mask at the Multiverse Rumble? I'm sure it was exactly the same backstage.
Yeah, like, in the mirror.
Everyone's like, where the fuck's Kanji gone? Like, Jim Carrey bursts out, like...
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Brilliant. Oh, big up Spike. I mean, no, we hate Spike, but big up Spike. We'll give him a little prop. He's all right. The next one I know the answer to, because I know you're in the locker room with her all the time. It's who brings the best food.
The best food?
Yeah.
Oh, Nina Samuels.
Of course it is. Yeah, I knew as soon as I asked it.
You already knew.
Yeah, because the only people who haven't said Nina Samuels are the only other people that haven't been on shows with Nina Samuels. Like,
it is Nina.
We all know it's Nina, right? We all like, yeah. I go the cookies over the brownies. I'll be honest, like, because since she started saying, yeah, I love the cookies. The cookies are great.
That brownie, you know.
I like, so I had, but again, like, I don't like to take credit for it, but I'm going to take credit for it. We had her on the podcast, and like, she was talking about her baking, and I said you should sell it at merch, and then she started selling it at merch. So
it's a great idea.
I mean, like, I don't know why she wasn't doing it before, because I mean, I'm a lot poorer now, but I'm very happy.
You're very happy.
I'm very happy. It's very, yeah, I was like, I've got to try it to know, like, because everyone was saying, like, I first heard it, I think Charlie Morgan was the first guest we had on it who said it, but like Charlie said it, and Lizzie said it, and Alex Windsor said it, and Alex Falcon said it, like, everyone had said it. So, like, I was like, I've got to try this now. Like, I've got to know what the hype is about, and it lived up to the hype. I'll tell you what, it was.
Yeah, so good.
Yeah, she can bake. She's got a talent there. She's all right at wrestling as well, but...
She's all right.
She's okay, and I guess she's all right in the ring.
I mean, the belts say, all the belts she has say she's all right.
Does she have a few belts, does she? I hadn't noticed that she has all the belts in wrestling.
I think she has a couple.
She's got like every single... Everything there's possibly able to have.
Yes.
Brilliant. Okay, the next one I say is like the most dirt, I guess, like the one that could get you in trouble based on who you say. Okay. So, and actually, to be fair, in terms of like not specifically Eve, but in terms of locker room, like locker rooms that I associate you with, there are a few wrestlers that have already been mentioned for this question. So I'm interested to see who you say. We're not talking in the ring. We're talking out of the ring. Who has the worst dress sense?
Sorry?
Who has the worst dress sense?
Oh. That's difficult. The worst.
The laugh makes me think you've got an answer, but you don't want to say it.
Yeah. I don't want to offend anyone.
Oh, it's all right. Plenty of people have said, plenty of people have been offended. It's fine.
I think I will have to say Jayne Money.
Jayne has been said a couple of times.
Has he?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he comes dressed so funky. Like all the time, it's really funky stuff, but yeah.
Yeah, I think the way people have said it is sort of like it's bad because it's the sort of style that only Jayne Money could pull off.
That's it, literally. Yeah. And he walks in. Sorry,
it's all right.
He walks in dressed in like these cool, colourful patterns, funky clothes, even hats sometimes. And you think, God, yeah, you look quite cool. But actually, when you break down what he's wearing, he's like, is it cool?
Is it cool or is he just pulling it off?
Yeah, exactly.
Love it. Well, the next one's on the nicer end of the spectrum because we are talking in the ring. We're talking, you've forgotten your gear for a show and you need to borrow someone's gear and it's one size fits all, so you can pick anyone. Whose gear do you look at and you're like, I could absolutely pull that off?
Oh.
I mean, there's plenty to choose from. I'm not like a lot of wrestlers have some great gear. So
yeah.
I feel like you're spoilt for choice. This one's not going to be Jayne Money.
Not going to be Jayne Money. Sorry, Jayne. I think I might say Lycos.
Oh yeah.
Because I really like his new bottoms.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'd have to wear my own top.
No, of course. Yeah. We're not saying...
I'd say I love his bottoms. I think they're great.
Yeah, that's a great choice.
Yeah, I'd definitely take Lycos's gear, yeah.
Yeah, next show, just be like, Lycos, can I borrow them for a sec?
Yeah, just for one match.
Yeah, that's all, I promise. And then you'll really like them, you'll be like, no, I'm not giving them back. These are mine now. I'm Lycos now. You're the new Lycos. You're Lycos 3, and he's Kanji now.
Yeah, I'll let him have my gear.
he's the top Shagger now. And you're the Lycos.
I'm the Lycos.
What a trait.
What a trait.
Again, Lycos actually made his Eve debut last year, didn't he? All in weekend. So that's not beyond the realms of possibility.
With me?
Yeah. You were there. You were there for that moment.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Lycos and Doris debuting in 1 year. One of them officially, one of them questionable.
Questionably, but Lycos definitely, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. So next time you can be like, yeah, Dan, I'm just bringing Lycos in. He's Kanji for tonight.
Yeah, he's gonna do my job.
Yeah. Brilliant. The next one I always say is really counterproductive to ask a wrestling locker room, but who's the most competitive?
I don't really know.
It doesn't have to necessarily be in the ring either. It can be competitive in any way.
Oh, that's tricky. I don't know, because I feel like we've all got competitive traits, but none of them come across as... Because I know that some people can get so competitive that they become almost hateful towards other people. And I don't think anyone is that competitive that hatefulness comes out to make it so I can see someone is definitely competitive. I think we're all just generically competitive in a fun way. So that's hard. But I think I might say Lizzie, just because I know how much into football she is and how much of a hardcore fan she is of Liverpool.
Yeah, she hasn't shown that at all. What? She hides it so well.
Yeah, she must be super competitive to be so supportive of a team and not wanting them to lose.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that is just football. I think football fans are always more competitive, like, just because there's that, like, tribal football fan nature that's instilled in you.
I think so.
No, I get that.
But I think it's hard because I know Lizzie is so spiritually connected. So I think when it comes to competitiveness, I wouldn't say she's got a hateful body when it comes to winning or losing, because she's so spiritual, and I think it's beautiful.
No, I love that. The next one, there's only a couple left. The next one is again, hypothetical. You're in the locker room, and everyone in the locker room is hosting a party on the same night. You can, of course, only go to one party. Who's do you go to? Who's you looking at as like, that's the one I've got to be at?
Dan Maloney.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's an interesting choice.
Yeah.
I love that.
I think so cool.
Yeah, Dan is cool. Dan's like ridiculously cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I definitely go. And I think Dan is so fun. He's so fun to be around. He's full of energy. He's so chill as well. I feel like Dan is someone, for me anyway, if I've ever got a problem or a question or anything, I could always go to Dan and he'll just be honest.
Yeah.
And a lot of people would say that. Dan is just honest. And I think because he's so cool, he knows how to have fun, he knows how to have a joke. And I think Dan kind of brings the party and the fun to a show. You always know when Dan Maloney's on a show.
He always brings it.
Yeah, I'd definitely go choose Dan Maloney's.
Nice. And the final one is, who would you pick to be your partner in the zombie apocalypse?
Probably Dan Maloney again.
Yeah, for the muscle, right?
Yeah, probably Dan Maloney again.
You're gonna be like, Dan, you go on, Dan. You deal with him. Like, let him tear through everyone.
Yeah, they take one look at Dan and run away.
Yeah, that's a good choice. It's a solid choice. It's a very solid choice. Yeah. Brilliant. Well, that brings that feature to an end. We've got one closing feature before we wrap up. Before that, I couldn't have you on and not ask you about Resurgence, because I feel like Resurgence is somewhere that means so much to you. Like that's the feeling. And again, we had Claire on from Resurgence for International Women's Day, and she spoke so highly of you and the work you do there, and how you've inspired her through the work you've done at Resurgence. And it seems like, again, it seems like a very obvious question, but it seems like Resurgence really holds that special place for you in terms of somewhere that's meant a lot for you, across your wrestling journey into who you are now.
Yeah, definitely. I hold Resurgence so close to my heart simply because the support network as a promotion and as a team is so big. When you go there, you actually feel like a family. And I think in wrestling, that term is thrown around a lot. But when it comes to Resurgence, you just feel a sense of love as an individual. They don't see you as a wrestler. They don't see you as just a performer that's going to make the money. They see you as a person beforehand. Before anything, you are a person with feelings, with emotions, and with a life that means a lot and is precious. And I think when it comes to wrestling, I think especially other promotions, and especially in today's climate, money is a big thing. And so when it comes to booking talent, you are seen as someone that's going to come in and make the money. And when you go to research, you don't feel like that. You don't feel like you're a working animal. You actually feel like a person that they care for. And no other show, I wouldn't say another show has made me feel as much as cared for as they do. And it's I saw a little clip that you posted of Claire and what she said, and honestly, I could not stop smiling through the whole thing, because Claire is such a beautiful person. When you go to a research show and she's there, I just smile straight away. because you can see how much of a pure soul she actually is. And it's the same with Sam and John and everyone else who works the promotion. They're just beautiful people. And it just makes my heart so happy to be around them, and for them to invest in me. It just makes me feel like, yeah, do you know what? We are a family, and we all care about each other.
Yeah, I love that. It's like that validating feeling, isn't it? Of like, you know that they, again, like you say, like that they care for you that much because you're on every show and they like book you in a certain way and let you have that, again, like that freedom to like sort of be you and like be like do what you want, like not necessarily always, but like with your character, like do what you want and like take it where you want to take it.
Yeah. I think it's a big collaborative process with them, Resurgence, and the talent. They have a lot of trust in us, and we have a lot of trust in them to be able to work together as a whole to put on the best show we believe we can.
Yeah. For sure. I mean, like, again, it sounds, I don't know if it sounds cliche, but I mention it a lot on the podcast, so it feels like cliche to me, but like, for me, like, you and Charlie Evans at Resurgence is like, when someone mentions Resurgence, I think of that feud, I think of that rivalry, and the way you guys built it and the way you guys told it, I thought was, like I said to Claire, I thought it was nothing short of spectacular. Like, I thought it was like one of the best like indie wrestling feuds I've like ever had the pleasure of seeing. It was incredible. But like, are there any, like, again, that's the thing, I always feel like I always like overdo it in terms of like, I talk about it a lot. and Charlie and like Sam and the guys that run Resurgence will know from all the clips that I've tagged them in, of like myself and other people talking about it, that I talk about it a lot. But like for yourself, like as well as that, are there any like other sort of like standout moments for you in Resurgence that like meant a lot to you?
I would say one of the biggest things is how I entered and how I was introduced to Resurgence, because I wasn't actually supposed to be on the first show I wrestled on.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it wasn't. I wasn't actually on the card at all. I saw that they were wrestling in Nottingham, which is where I'm from, and I just messaged Sam and just said, I'm going to come down to the show to help out, if that's okay. And he says, yeah, that's cool. Can you get to the venue for this time, blah, blah, blah. And I says, yeah, sure, that's fine. And then something happened because it was a 4-way. So someone dropped out, or there was a problem with the card, so someone couldn't make it or couldn't do the show. So that person was replaced. And then someone else was replaced. And then someone else couldn't do it. And then he asked me. So I was like the third person to replace that match. And so I was like, yeah, obviously I was going to come down anyway to help out. So yeah, I'll bring my gear. And then they put me on. And then because they were so happy with what I did in the ring, they've just continued to invest in me from that point. So I think that is such a massive thing that is stuck in my memory, that it was just by chance. Yeah. You know, if I never messaged Sam to say I'm going to come down and help out, if that's okay, that the opportunity might have never come up. And, you know, this history of matches that I've had with Charlie and with Spike, and the 3-way with Doris and Spike, never would have happened, maybe.
Yeah, it takes you back to like what you were saying earlier about like things happen for a reason, right? And we had like, I guess we've had a lot of wrestlers actually come on and say very similar. Like, I think the most recent that springs to mind is when we had Anita Vaughn on, and she was like, she wasn't initially meant to be in WXW Femme Fatale, and there were like dropouts. She was meant to have a tag match that wasn't like part of the Femme Fatale tournament, but there were dropouts, and she got to be in the Femme Fatale. And like, It's the case of like, that small thing, that small moment can like be almost like seem quite almost insignificant at the time. Like, oh yeah, I get this match, I get this opportunity, but like, when you see what it's led to and how far you've come since then, like, it's mad that it all like might not have been if like 3 wrestlers hadn't pulled out of that match.
Exactly. Just one small thing has like a massive impact on your future. Yeah,
I love that. And like, if you don't wrestle, I mean, it opens the door. I'm not gonna give booking advice to everyone here, but it does open the door for if Dan wants to book it. Medusa complex against the top Shagger and Donny. Like,
oh, there you go.
Imagine how fun that would be. Because, like, Chevs and Millie McKenzie together are fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Like, against you two, it would be so funny.
Yeah. I think it would definitely bring out the gremlin in Millie McKenzie.
Yeah, it would. Oh, it'd be brilliant. It'd be Dan, if you're watching, if you want to book it. Like, not just for me, but also sort of just for me. Like, I wouldn't mind it. I'm sure I wouldn't be the only one that wants to see it, but, if you want to take advice from me, fine. That's fine. For free. Not even going to charge. I won't even charge. It's chill. Yeah. Brilliant. Well, there's a couple more things I want to get onto just before our closing feature. Yeah. And one of them is to do, not just with something you do, it's something you do at every show, because I have never seen anyone chop someone's chest with the ferocity that Kanji does. So, like, give me a like, not a tutorial, because I'm not going to come there and have you chop me, because that'd be very painful and inconvenient time-wise. But how do you do that? Like, what is the method that goes into chopping someone with that ferocity that, like, it's heard from, like, the next building?
Oh, I don't know if I should give away my secret.
True, actually, yeah, because then people might be able to guard against it, mightn't they?
Yeah, maybe. I think everybody has like a technique in strikes, certain strikes. Everyone has techniques. Even when it comes to kicks, there's certain techniques on how and where to kick people. And so I've heard some people's techniques on chops, and how to do them without really hurting someone, because they do hurt, they sting. But I've heard people say how to do them to get a loud noise, but without hurting, and things like that. But I think I just found my own technique, and it's literally, I just visualize going through someone's chest instead of just hitting them.
It does feel like you're doing that. It does feel like your hand could, like, burst through them at any point.
Yeah, that's it. And because, like, I always make sure, like, people are okay with taking them anyway before. I don't just do it because I know it hurts. Yeah. So I always double check to make sure. But I do just visualize going through them. And that, I think that's come from a technique I heard from when, I think it was Chris Ridgway. He told me about his kicks, because I think he's martial arts trained. And so he was talking to me about the technique of a kick and a swing of a kick. And he said, you don't want to just hit them and bounce off. You want to go through. You need to follow through when you're doing a kick. And so that's just what I visualize with a chop. Just go through.
Just apply it to the hand. Yeah, fair. And it works. I mean, it's absolutely ferocious. It's incredible. It's brilliant to witness. I don't want to be on the other side of it, ever, please. But to witness, it's wonderful. Has anyone ever come back, like, from, like, a match where you've done that and they've been like, fucking hell?
Everybody. Yeah, everybody. But I was more surprised with Amira, because she took it. And I was concerned with a kick, because I gave her some kicks. And I was worried that she's going to complain about the kicks hurting. But she came and I asked her, I was like, were the kicks okay? And she was like, I'm not worried about the kicks. It's the chop that hurt. She goes, oh my God. And all her chest was red. I was like, I'm so sorry.
The thing is, I can imagine Amira as well, like in the exact voice, like the Amira would do, like complain about that in as well. You just know that she's like, fuck.
But it's so funny because she was saying how much it hurt, but she was like, but I loved it. It was so good. I loved it.
Do it again.
Yeah, she said when she took the first one, she was in her head. She goes, come on, give it to me again, baby.
Amazing. That is so Amira. That is so Amira. I love that. I love that. Give it to me again, baby. Oh, wait. She was just Brittany, right? Right at Cabaret. So again, it's literally hit me, baby, one more time.
Oh my gosh! Maybe that's what brought.
It's come full circle. She took that, and then she was like, "Hang on."
Hit me, baby.
Yeah. There we go. It's all come full circle. Everything's linked. Wrestling's all linked. It's wonderful.
It's all linked.
Brilliant. Well, that brings us beautifully into our closing feature. We've spoken a lot about Kanji on this podcast, and now we're going to get to know you behind Kanji. So this feature is called Anatomy of a Pro Wrestler, and it's like little quick fire questions that I'm going to give you, and you let me know what comes to mind.
Okay.
So the first one is, what is your favourite post-pinfall pig out?
Usually Mackey's.
Yeah, people say Mackey's. But like, would it be Mackey's, or like, I'm giving you the option of like everything's open, what would you go for?
Either Mackey's or Nando's.
Nice. What do you get at Nando's?
I either get the butterfly chicken or a quarter chicken with medium hot sauce.
Sides?
Yeah. Either fries but with no peri-peri salt.
Right.
Or mash and coleslaw.
Nice. Yeah, it's a good choice. I like it. I like that order. That's a solid order. Yeah. The next one, they're not all food-based, I promise. I always feel like everyone thinks of it because the first two are food, but they're not. The next one's like your classic, like what would your like death row last meal be?
Jacket potatoes.
That is so simple. That's like deceptively simple.
I just love jacket potatoes.
With what?
I can't believe it.
What with? What do you go for topping-wise?
I either have cheese and beans or I have cottage cheese and sweet corn.
I've not heard that before. That's interesting. No, I've never heard that on a jacket potato.
Do you know what? I thought that was like a thing. And then I said it once before at Resurgence show with Candy Floss. And I said jacket potatoes with cottage cheese and sweet corn. And she said, ew, that's disgusting. Like, what the hell? I was like, what? And that was the first time she heard of it.
Yeah, that sounds weird to me. No.
So good.
I'm with you on the cheese and beans. Cottage cheese and sweet corn sounds like not the worst combo, but I wouldn't have it on a jacket potato.
Oh, it's so good, honestly.
All right. I mean, I'm not going to try it. If I ever try it, I'll let you know. But I can't imagine I'm going to have the bravery to try it.
Honestly, it's amazing.
Okay, all right. I'm not sure. That's weirder for me than like Millie McKenzie warming up her pork pies in the microwave. That's bizarre as well. Like, what is up with wrestlers and food? Can I just eat normal food? Come on. The next one is, well, we spoke about your music taste before. The next one's the song that gets you the most hyped.
It will probably be a song off Beyonce's Renaissance album.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm trying to think which one.
It's a banger of an album. There's a lot of choices.
Yeah. It'll definitely be one from there because they're fantastic.
Yeah, it's a good album. It's a good choice. Yeah, I like that. The next one is the movie that you'd show the locker room.
A movie?
Yeah.
My favourite film is La La Land.
Good film.
So I have a post up there.
I was wondering what that was. Oh no. I was wondering what the poster was. Oh, yeah. Nice, love it.
Yeah.
I like the look around of that. Like, it's not just the poster; you've got like all the writing on the side of it as well. I like that.
Yeah, I love it. It's like the bill, isn't it? The poster bill.
Yeah. I love that. Nice, good choice. The next one's a bit of a throwback because it's your first job.
I worked on the burger and the food stand at Nottingham Forest ground.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
That's like a classic, like, I wouldn't say classic, but it's a classic first job if you're in a place that's got a football club.
Yeah. So it's quite cool, actually. I met some really cool people there as well, so I really enjoyed that.
Nice. Are you a football fan, just generally?
I was. Not really anymore now. I think I lean more towards wrestling than any other sport now. So sure. But a lot of my family are football fans.
Nice. Forest fans?
Forest fans, Notts County fans.
Oh, you've got the split.
Fans, yeah.
You've got the family split. That's all.
Yeah. They're always saying competing with you Reds and you Pies. That's the thing.
Well, I mean, luckily, like they're very opposite ends of the football pyramid at the minute, so like no need to face each other and have the rivalry really come to a head.
That's it. Yeah, they're safe.
Yeah. The next one gets a little deep because it's your greatest fear.
I think spiders. I'm terrified of spiders. So being in a room or a dark room with spiders, that terrifies me.
Yeah. No, I get you there. Spiders, no. The darkness, you just added a new fear into my mind because I've never considered the fact that I could be in a room with a big spider and the lights be out. But
yeah, I can't deal with spiders at all.
No, I hate spiders. Like, my partner will attest to the fact that every time the spider, like even a tiny one, maybe I can deal with, but anything like bigger than that, I'm like, you're gonna get that because I'm not going near it.
Not going there at all.
No, I get you. The next one's on the opposite end of the spectrum because it's your favourite animal.
A whale.
Nice. That's an interesting choice.
Yeah.
I love that.
They're so peaceful and so free. Like I know like with orcas, they swim in groups. But I just think when you see pictures of them or videos of them like in the ocean, it just looks like they're absolutely free. Like I think that is like the epitome of being free.
Yeah.
See a whale in the ocean. I think it's beautiful.
No, I love that. Yeah, it's a good choice. The next one's the only wrestling one on the list because it's your favourite match stipulation. If it differs between what you like to be in and what you like to watch, then I'll give you two. Like, you can have one of each.
That is tricky. Wow. I really enjoyed when I'm playing the wrestling game on PlayStation. I really enjoyed doing table ladder chairs match.
Nice, yeah.
I always enjoyed doing those. Just finding different ways of how to use the chairs, tables, and ladders. I think that was so exciting.
Yeah.
I think favorite stipulation. I really enjoy 2 out of 3 falls.
Nice.
I've done a few of them, and I just think the endless possibilities of structure and storylines and ideas and creativity with that sort of match is really fun.
Yeah, I like that. I'm always really on the fence with 2 out of 3 falls because I feel like when it's done well, it's really good. But I feel like there's so many that like you sort of can predict how it's going to go. Do you know what I mean? Like, because you know that in most scenarios, at least, it's going to go 1-1, and it's sort of like the journey of how you get to 1-1. That's like, how do you mix that up enough for it to be engaging?
Exactly. Yeah, that's it. And I think what's another tricky thing is after a fall, the momentum stops. So as a wrestler, you have to restart the whole momentum shift and kind of build it back up and get the audience to follow that story and that wave of energy with you as well. Yeah. So it is a tricky one, but I find it really interesting of how other people do it and how you can creatively get involved in building a 2 out of 3 falls match. For sure.
No, I like that. There's only a couple left. The next one's your favourite place in the world.
I think the go-to one I would say is just home. Where my family is. But outside that, I say the favourite place I've ever been to is Japan.
Yeah, we get that a lot.
Yeah, it's just a complete different world. It's fantastic.
Yeah, no, I love that. And then, the last one is your dream holiday destination. So let's say somewhere you haven't been, perhaps.
I would say I really want to go to Fiji.
Nice.
Yeah, that's the one place. Like, I've said this since I was younger, since I think I was about 12. I think I saw pictures and a few clips of it and said, that's where I want to go. And I've just remembered it ever since.
Yeah, you got to get there. That would be great. Like, it's a long flight. It's a little bit of a flight. But if you've done Japan, then, I suppose it's like, it's only a little bit down the road, isn't it?
Yeah, just down the road.
Yeah. Brilliant. Well, that brings us to that feature, the end of that feature, and nearly the end of the podcast. We've got one final question that is not left by me, because we have a tradition here on the podcast where our last guest leaves a question for our next guest. And it comes to you out of context, so you don't know which wrestler has left it.
Okay.
So I'll be interested to see if you know this one, because I feel like this is a very niche one that only a certain amount of people will be able to answer. So the question is, who would win in a fight between the Hulk and Kratos, God of War?
I think the God of War.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, see, okay, so this is where I was asked to do this specifically. The amendment to the question is the fact that there's a fight between the Hulk and Kratos, God of War. Who would win, and why would it be the Hulk? So the person that asked this question is very adamant that the Hulk is winning this fight.
I'm trying to think who would have gave me this question. And why would it be Hulk?
So their argument was that Hulk gets stronger as he gets madder. So the more you beat him up, the madder he gets and the stronger he gets.
Yeah, I guess so.
What was your argument for Kratos?
Because he's the God of War. He'd have all the secrets on how to win, I guess.
Yeah, I suppose there is that, isn't there? Like, I feel like the God of War would know how to beat the Hulk, right?
Yeah, there's a reason he's called the God of War. No one is called the God of anything. Unless you are,
Yeah, it's a fair point. That's a compelling argument. I might see. I might have to send this to the wrestler and see what they think.
Yeah. I mean, with confidence of, and why is it Hulk? Yeah. They probably won't accept it. But...
No, they won't. No, they're not going to accept it at all, are they? They're going to be like, no, that's wrong. She's wrong. Absolutely.
She's wrong. Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, that's a great place to end. Kanji, thank you so much for coming on the Grapple Theory podcast. I really appreciate you taking the time to chat to me today. I hope you've enjoyed it.
I have, actually. Yeah, it's been really nice. It's been cool to delve it back into the past and the year that's happened so far.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Of course. Thank you. That means a lot. It means a lot you came on. It was great chatting. It's great to know sort of like just a bit more about like your wrestling journey and like you in the ring and like, how you've evolved. And like, again, personally, I think you've been doing great work. I think you've always done great work, but it's really good to see you now having like, again, after a few years, you've had like a consistent run in the ring and being able to like actually like sort of develop some extra character stuff and do some new bits as well, which is always fun to see.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I've enjoyed it.
No, I'm glad. That's brilliant. Well, like we always end the podcast by giving our guests one final bit of promo time. So whether it's at Resurgence or at Progress or at Rev Pro or at Eve with Emersyn Jayne now and people not knowing whether you're the top Shagger or the Donny, why, if someone sees Kanji on a wrestling match card, on a poster, on social media, a show near them, why is Kanji going to steal the show?
Because I bring versatility to a show I bring more versatility to a show with such versatile wrestlers already. I bring more.